Yo, what is up, guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, I guess this video is a quick preview slash prediction for a fight that goes down this weekend in the featherweight division. That fight being Luis Alberto Lopez versus Michael Conlan. The fight takes place in Belfast, in Ireland, Northern Ireland, and it will be televised on BT in the UK and ESPN in the USA. Have to say, I really like this fight. Really interesting fight, intriguing, good clash of styles, and yeah, this is one I'm looking forward to. Now, Bernardo Lopez is the champion. He is the IBF featherweight champion. He won that title against Josh Warrington away from home in Leeds. We actually backed him on this channel to do so, to beat Josh Warrington. So he won his title away from home. He's now defending it away from home. That's what I like to see. Bernardo Lopez is a guy who has backed himself, had a couple of setbacks in his career, but he's not been scared to take on good opposition. Along the way, he's fought unbeaten prospects, etc. As I said, went to the UK to beat Josh Warrington and win that title. And now he's defending that title on the road. That's what I like to see. There's not enough of those sort of fighters in boxing. But regardless, Lopez has picked up some valuable experience in recent years by, taking fights as the underdog, etc. And I think that will serve him well in this fight. The crowd will be partisan and highly in favour of Michael Conlon, of course. But again, I don't expect that to faze Bernardo Lopez, Luis Alberto Lopez. In fact, I make Lopez a favourite in this fight. I think Michael Conlon is a live dog in this bout, no doubt about it. He brings some interesting attributes to the table, and he does have certain advantages. Luis Alberto Lopez is only listed as 5'4", with a 66.5-inch reach, whereas Michael Conlan is 5'8", with a 69-inch reach. So Conlan is significantly taller and longer, and that really serves Michael Conlan's style. Primarily, Michael Conlan likes to stick behind his jab. He can actually switch it up in terms of stances. He can box orthodox and southpaw. But primarily, he likes to keep you at range behind the jab, and he'll look for straight punches. He can also mix things up. He can actually throw to the body quite effectively. And that is something in this fight I would recommend that Michael Conlan does against Luis Alberto Lopez. One thing about Lopez I will say, in the Josh Warrington fight, he did kind of flag towards the end. He kind of gassed out a little bit. Towards the last sort of 2 or 3 rounds of that fight. Conlan, I think, needs to try to bring that out once again in Luis Alberto Lopez. He needs to try and make it a hard fight. Now, given he's got the boxer type of style, he's not going to be as rough and ready, I wouldn't have thought, as Josh Warrington. But he can dig to that body. He can target that body of Luis Alberto Lopez. Maybe a few straight punches from range against Lopez. Again, Conlan is significantly taller and longer. The straight left, the straight right to the body, the jab to the body from distance could be a good shot for Michael Conlan. I will say though, Bernardo Lopez does have a good uppercut, so he needs to be careful. And yeah, I think a sustained body attack early on from Michael Conlan could be a good strategy, without, of course, getting himself in harm's way. Because, much like Lopez, I felt, if you look at Conlan's last big fight against Leigh Wood, Conlan started that fight really well. He was boxing Leigh Wood up. He drops him. After 6 rounds, he was winning the fight clearly. But he started to flag in that fight, and he allowed Leigh Wood back into it. He got dropped, and then eventually he got knocked out, I believe, in round, 11 maybe? Brutally knocked out at that. He kind of flagged in that fight, lost concentration, and he allowed Leigh Wood back into that fight. And the concerning thing for me would be, Leigh Wood isn't exactly a high-octane fighter. He's a boxer-puncher. He doesn't bring that same sort of pressure as Bernardo Lopez. So yeah, I think both guys down the stretch, it's going to be very interesting to see who's in better condition. If Conlon doesn't go to that body early on, I don't think Lopez is going to gas like he did against Warrington, because again, Warrington made Lopez work really hard. But if Conlon is just boxing, I think you'll see Lopez quite fresh towards the end of a fight. I think he needs to stick something on Lopez to get his respect and to drain that gas tank. It's a really good fight. It's a really good fight. It's a fight in which I can see Conlon winning. In fact, many people I've been speaking to are picking Conlon to win. I just worry about Conlon, like I said, down the stretch. I really do. And on the inside, Conlon is adept, but he can throw shots on the inside quite well. But defensively, I'm not too sold on Conlon up close. He can throw shots, but defending shots, I'm not quite as sold, to be honest. But it's an interesting fight. It's an interesting fight. I think, gun to my head, I pick Lopez in this fight, maybe on points, maybe even by late stoppage. And that's what Lopez should be training for. That's what he should be aiming for, is a late stoppage, because, you know, he's away from home again. I felt the cards on the Josh Warrington fight were too close, to be honest, at least a couple of them from memory. And this fight is in Ireland against Michael Conlan, a guy who is well respected, well liked, and well supported in Ireland. So Lopez needs to take that into account. If he wins this fight 7-5 on most fans' cards, he's not going to get the decision. So he needs to go in there with gusto, aggression, pace, relentlessness, etc. to guarantee that he wins this fight. But I think my official prediction is going to be Bernardo Lopez on points. Again, I could see Lopez winning by stoppage, or I can see Conlon winning on points. I can't see Conlon knocking out Lopez though. That's the only outcome I can't really see. I could see Conlon on points in a legitimate win, or alternatively I could see it being a robbery as well. It's a good fight though, it's a good fight. But yeah, I've got Lopez. How about you guys? Who are you guys picking in this fight and why? Share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Delboy. Peace.